Yes, so we were saying children in schools right now, we don't feel sorry for them. Who we feel sorry for are the teachers because they would have to be doing something like this because there would be children in school as well as children online. So they're trying to teach both of them at the same time, it'll be tricky. So we empathize. All right. In February. Yeah, yeah. Right, so we're going to move on to the exercise. Then we're going to do some reading pronunciation. Then we're going to do a dialogue pronunciation, right? So let's start with the exercise. Let's see how we can make this bigger so that everyone can see. You could see there, Nisa? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to read the question and you will have to think. So you'll have to figure out what they're saying because the question is about the question. The question isn't asking for an answer. So for example, oye Manuel, ¿a dónde vas con esa pelota? Right? So that's the question, but the question you have to answer for the exam is ¿qué va a hacer Manuel? So what is Manuel going to do? Right? Still on unit? All right. So I just gave you the first one. That was too easy. The answers are talking about Manuel? No. They are giving what it asks is, hey Manuel, where are you going with that ball? And the question is, what is Manuel? I'm not saying what, right? What is Manuel going to do? ¿Qué, what va going a hacer? Hacer is to do. So what is Manuel going to do? Right? So yeah. So for example, hay mucha turbulencia. No puedo volar hoy. ¿Quién habla? La pregunta es ¿quién habla? The question is ¿quién habla? ¿Quién va a estar? Who would be saying something like this? Hay mucha turbulencia. No puedo volar hoy. Hay mucha turbulencia. Turbulencia. Right. I is there is. Mucha is, I don't need to tell you what mucha is. Mucha is plenty, right? So there's a lot of turbulence. No puedo volar hoy. Volar. Right. So, ¿quién habla? El piloto. El piloto. All right. So we'll go like this, right? Okay. So hay mucha turbulencia. There's a lot of turbulence. No puedo volar hoy. I can't fly today. So the question is, ¿quién habla? Who is speaking? So who is speaking is the pilot, el piloto. Right? So in the exam, what you'd put is el piloto. Don't put the pilot. El piloto. Right? Any other questions so far? Any questions online?
No.
Right. Okay, great. So the next one, we're not going to do volunteers. We're going to pick, right? So I'll read it first, and then you can read it. You'll go next. You'll go first. All right. No, Darren started. Quiero dos bocadillos. The double L is always pronounced like a Y. Que hay de postre. Okay, so the vowels in Spanish are always pronounced the same, unlike English. English is designed to confuse you. A sometimes is, sometimes is a, sometimes is a. In Spanish, a is always a. So, and the H is always silent. Que hay de postre? Okay. Esta persona. ¿Cómo está? How is this person? Very good. And see what you're missing, Kiziana, no, you're missing the energy. Quiero dos bocadillos. What is a bocadillo? I'll give you a clue. It's something to drink, but it's no. It's something to eat. It's almost impossible to translate it. It's almost impossible. No, it's not impossible to translate. It's impossible to figure it out from how it's spelled. Bocadillo is like finger food. So it's bocadillos. Well, it's hors d'oeuvres. So even in English, we do have a word for it. We use the French word hors d'oeuvres, which is HORS, D apostrophe OEUVRS. Hors d'oeuvres, or it's like cutters, what Chinese call cutters, bocadillo. Bocadillos, but it could be those finger sandwiches as well. Bocadillo, any little small things, right? Quiero dos bocadillos, por favor. ¿Qué hay de postre? So in this case, it's dessert. Yeah, I want two little finger things. I want two bocadillos, please. And what do you have for dessert? Oh, shucks, see, I just gave it away. I wasn't supposed to give it away. ¿Cómo está esta persona? Someone who is asking for bocadillos and dessert, how are they? Right? And they are feeling hungry, exactly. So, ¿cómo está esta persona? So, in the exam, the response would be, esta persona has hunger. They're not hungry. That's the next thing. In Spanish, you don't feel hungry. Yeah, you don't, no me siento hambre, right? Is I have hunger. So you don't ask somebody if they're hungry. You ask them, do you have hunger? Right? And if you're not hungry, you say, I do not. No, I do not. I do not have hunger. I do not have hunger. So when you're hungry, I have hunger. When you're not hungry, I do not have hunger. Right? So esta persona tiene hambre. Right? We will do the verb tener another time, but that's another very important verb, is to have. Tener. So yo tengo, tú tienes, él tiene, nosotros tenemos. Usted, no, vosotros tenéis. Ellos tienen. Now, vosotros, I paused on the vosotros because the Venezuelans you meet here don't use vosotros. So different parts of the world where they speak Spanish, they use different things. So here, you will never hear vosotros, unless it's someone from Maracaibo. That's the next story. Maracaibo is the other half of Venezuela. Maracaibo. Let's see if you could find it here. Maracaibo is like here, Zulia. So these people use vosotros for everything. So even when they're speaking to you alone and in the video, they will still use vosotros. But everywhere else, it's they would either use usted or tú, or ustedes or ellos. All right, so now let's go back to that wonderful page where we were, right, which is right here. Right, so, ¿cómo está esta persona? Esta persona tiene hambre. Shall we try that together? Esta persona tiene hambre. Okay, good. Esta persona tiene hambre. Okay, next one. So we are on to Melika. You want to try? El aceite. All right, I'll do it first, and then you could just mimic me. All right, that's the secret to learning any language. You have to like throw shame out the window and don't care what other people think. And just, just go brave. So I'll read it first, and then you could just parrot as you hear, or we could all read it together. Repeat after me, right? El aceite está bastante caliente para freír el pescado. ¿Qué va a hacer esta persona? ¿Qué va a hacer esta persona? ¿Qué va a hacer esta persona? Very good. El aceite está bastante caliente para freír el pescado. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is bastante caliente. Something hot.
The oil is hot for frying.
Yeah, right.
Pescado.
Bastante is sufficient or enough. So the oil is enough hot to fry the fish. The oil is hot enough to fry the fish. Right? But they're not saying that. They're saying the oil is sufficiently hot to fry the fish. And then the question is, what is this person going to do? Va a hacer. Okay? So what is the person going to do? Fry fish, right? So the response would be, esta persona va a freír pescado. Esta persona va a freír pescado.
Oh.
Right? Va a freír pescado. Mm-hmm. Okay. Next. Anissa, how you doing? Carlos, ¿por qué no hiciste tus deberes? ¿Dónde está Carlos? All right, together. Carlos, ¿por qué no hiciste tus deberes? ¿Dónde está Carlos? Hiciste. So the H is always silent. You never see the H. Imagine it's not there. ¿Dónde está Carlos? That is, where is Carlos, right? Where is Carlos? ¿Dónde es where? All right. La chica tiene que guardar cama. Puntos. Carlos, ¿por qué no hiciste tus deberes? ¿Dónde está Carlos? So where is Carlos? What are deberes? Do we know? Another trick to learning a language is to figure out, is to read English. because many words in English have a Roman root. So deberes, deber is to have to or to owe, right? So if you are living by me, what do you owe me? Well, all right, all right. No, if you're my relative, if you're my child, you don't owe me rent, right? Unless you're a child, unless you want to make a little money. No, chores, exactly, right? So have you done your, no, why, por qué no hiciste tus deberes? Why have you not done your chores, right? And right, so they're asking where is Carlos. Right, he didn't do his chores, right? So you could say, and this is a nice question. It's a generous question because it leaves you free to put Carlos está. Yeah, you could say different things. You could say different things. You say he's by the river. You could say he's sleeping. You could say he eating. Say he's watching TV. ¿Dónde está Carlos? Carlos está en. Carlos está en. ¿Dónde está Carlos? Cuando no haces tus deberes, ¿a dónde te escondes? When you don't do your chores, where you go and hide? Under the bed? No, you can't stay under the bed whole day. It's chores. You go outside. Where? Outside playing. Okay, Carlos está jugando afuera. Okay, Carlos está jugando afuera. Jugando is from jugar to play, right? So next week I'll have a whiteboard and I'll write it out. But Carlos, juntos, Carlos está jugando afuera. All right. Next one. La chica tiene que guardar la cama. La chica tiene que guardar cama. Okay. Yeah. So I have 3 words. 2 of them did Spanish. And I've had to do this very often. Correct the Spanish in the exam. So this is wrong. La chica tiene que, it should be la chica tiene que guardar la cama. In Spanish, you just use the article more. Many times when we leave out the article, they don't. So they say, yeah, you can probably take it out altogether. So in Spanish, they would say the girl has to make up the bed. Yeah, la chica tiene que guardar la cama. Guardar is literally, it's to keep or to safeguard. But you don't tell your child, safeguard the bed. So the girl has to make up the bed. Right? And ¿cómo está? So la cama está descompuesta. Could be the answer. The bed is not made up. Descompuesta. Esta literally is. Yeah, there are 2 verbs to be. The verb estar and the verb ser. Now, ¿cómo está? Means how is it? So the bed is unmade, right? Estar is for temporary. It's for be when it's temporary, and it's for temporary states, and ser is for permanent states, but the exception. So if I am Rose, Would it be estar or ser?
What?
Ser. Would it be soy rose or estoy rose? No.
Sorry.
Permanent. Soy. Right? But if it's a bed, it wouldn't be permanently in a mess. It would be sometimes in a mess. So it would be estar. So la cama está descompuesta o desarreglada. There are many options. Anything else on that? La chica tiene que guardar cama. ¿Cómo está? All right. Lo siento, María. Yeah, let's try that. Lo siento, María. Oye, where's María? Oh, she's on holiday. Lo siento, María. Espero que pronto todo vaya bien, le dijo Ángela. ¿Qué ha oído Ángela? Ángela. Ángela is English, is Angela, but the accent is on the first A. So lo siento, María. What does that mean? I'm sorry, Maria. Espero que. I hope that. Espero es from esperar que that pronto. Pronto means soon. I hope that soon all goes well. I hope you feel better. That will be the contextual translation. The contextual translation will be, I hope you feel better, but the practical translation, the literal translation is, I hope soon all goes well. I hope soon all goes well. Le dijo Ángela. Angela said to her. But they say, to her said Angela. Right? Le dijo Ángela. ¿Qué ha oído Ángela? What has Angela heard? Right? So, what has Angela heard? I'm sorry, Maria. Espero que pronto todo vaya bien. What did Angela hear? That Maria is unwell, right? She's heard Maria is unwell. So she's telling Maria, lo siento, Maria, espero que pronto todo vaya bien. Todos juntos. Lo siento, María, espero que pronto todo vaya bien, le dijo Ángela. ¿Qué ha oído Ángela? Ángela ha oído que María está enferma.
La siento, María, espero que pronto todo
Vaya
vaya
bien, le dijo Ángela. Now this is subjunctive. We'll get to that in a future class. Yes. So it's the vowels are los vocales son A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U, siempre. No varía nunca. Ok, luego vamos con el hombre anda por la calle gritando, plátanos baratos. ¿Quién es? El hombre. El hombre. That sweatshirt you like. No, that's Italian. Umbro. You ever saw that shirt? Umbro? Umbro. Shouldn't say umbro. It's Italian. Umbro, which means Which means who wears those right? Who are mostly men, right? So that's the other way you would learn a lot of the vocabulary and you don't have to memorize it when you make the association. So that shirt, that sports shirt people like to wear, umbro, it means man. And it's Italian. And it comes from the same root as this word. Hombre. El hombre, so the man anda por through, yeah, por is through, la, the, calle, street, gritando, 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 no, but you see the link. So greeting people at some point would have had to been done how? Shouting, exactly. Because when they came up with these words, they didn't have phones, they didn't have doorbells. So to greet someone meant to shout at someone. So gritando, exactly. So the man walking through the street shouting, plátanos baratos, plátanos, plátanos, plátanos. What does it resemble in English? Plantains, exactly. Baratos. Baratos. You remember that shoe? Some of you might be too young to remember that shoe. Bata. It was very. Bata shoes were very cheap, right? So, plátanos baratos. What is cheap plantains? Right. So, ¿quién es? Who is it? Who is it? Who would be shouting cheap plantains in the street? A vendor, un vendedor. Exactly, a vendor, un vendedor. But you see that? Vendedor is a seller. And a vendor, what does a vendor do? He sells. So the word vendor came from the same root as vendedor. You see how easy Spanish is, Rose? Rose is in everything here, boy. Austin and Diana, you all okay? And Kizzy Ann.
Yes, I am.
All right, you laughing? If you're not laughing, it don't make sense, you know. It's the right thing.
Oh, they have me laughing.
Okay, go off. Carlos is time to come soon shouting. Wow, okay, Diana getting all the right answers. Feel free to unmute your mic if you want button. All right, so let me set the timer because we will have to come back in one more time. All right, 7 minutes. Okay, let me set that. Okay. So where were we? We almost done this exercise. So the hombre is okay. We are done this exercise. Lovely. Yeah, the instructions here are different. Okay. So we've done the past paper piece. So up next is some reading pronunciation. Now during the exercises we've been doing, you got some reading pronunciation, wouldn't you say? So given the time, let us do some, let's do this passage together, right? And then we will move on to the dialogue. All right, don't panic, it's still there. I just need to drag over here. Okay, I don't want to see it. All right. Nothing magic. No? Atención, radio oyentes. Hoy a eso de la 1 de la madrugada se escapó un prisionero de la cárcel de los Lobos. Fue encarcelado por el asalto del Banco Nacional hace un año. Tiene una cicatriz distintiva en la frente. Este hombre está armado y se considera muy peligroso. Se recompensará al que dé informes acerca de su paradero actual. Very easy. Ajá, right. Mhm. Exactly, exactly. Attention listeners, radio oyentes, today at around 1 in the morning. Okay, a prisoner escaped from prison. The name of the prisoner is Los Lobos, the wolves. He was jailed for an assault on. That's all. That's a good practice to try to make, when if it sounds right, if it makes, very often common sense gets you there. But in this case, the bank, right? He robbed the bank a year ago. Tiene una cicatriz. Yo tengo muchas cicatrices. A scar. Tiene una cicatriz distintiva. Right, a distinctive scar on the frente. Este es el frente, right. Este hombre está armado. He's armed and dangerous. Y se considera muy peligroso. Very dangerous. Se recompensará. Yes. People who give information about his current whereabouts, so where he's right now, location, yeah, paradero, se recompensará. Now, again, culture is a funny thing. In some countries, a paradero is a place where you stop to eat it's like a diner. So it's like between two big cities, you might want to stop and use the bathroom and drink a coffee and eat a empanada. And that would be a paradero. And also drink a beer or some rum. Because very often the people doing that trek are truckers. So you can't offer them juice, they have to drink some rum. Anyway, and hopefully they don't meet a breathalyzer on the way. So let's read this all together for pronunciation practice. Atención, radio oyentes. Radio oyentes. Atención, radio oyentes. Hoy, a eso de la 1 de la madrugada, se escapó un prisionero de la cárcel de los Lobos. Fue encarcelado. You see in relation to English, incarcerated, right? Encarcelado por el asalto del Banco Nacional hace un año. Tiene una cicatriz distintiva en la frente. Este hombre está armado y se considera muy peligroso. Muy peligroso. Se recompensará. Se recompon. se recompensará. See, I often not look at all. Se recompensará. Se recompensará
Se recompensará.
al
Se
se recompensará al que dé informes
Aunque informe
acerca
acerca
de su paradero
de
actual.
paradero
Actual.
actual.
Okay. All right. All right.